Life is a time pass, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो थारी राय सो मारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you live at zero complaint level, मौज में रहो, be happy.
Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. तस्य वा एतस्य एव पश्यतः एवं मन्वानः अस्यैव विजानतः. He who has come to discover the truth as his essential nature, then his experience is, this whole world is my own expanse. See? Like when we become awake from the deep sleep, out of it, then everything, whether head, eyes, health, unhealth, everything is included in the definition of I at the individual level. Exactly the same thing. When we transcend the individuality and merge in the absolute, so what will be the experience of the bulb? All that is here is included in my light. What will be the experience of the electricity? All that is included in all the bulbs, present, past, and future, is included in me. So one has to go to the absolute. So here, he who has thus come to discover this, evam pashyataha manvanaha and vijanataha, he who has thus come to discover this reality that he is, then for him everything is his expansion. And therefore, mantra atmataha karmani aramata karmani atmataha iti evam sarvam iti. So everything is only my expanse. This is his ultimate experience. And dvitiyatvai bhayam bhavati. When there is no sense of otherness, there cannot be. When there is no sense of otherness, there cannot be fear. So these are such minute and simple things. Desire always happens about something which is other than I. Like eyes can see something which is other than the eyes. Eyes cannot see themselves. Similarly, mind can engage in desire only something is recognized as other than the I or the mind. When the mind is engaged in what is this mind, Mahanasam tu kim margane krite, when we inquire what is the mind, by the mind disappears. Therefore, when we come to discover our essential self, there cannot be any desire, there cannot be any anger, there cannot be any fear. And therefore, this is what was attained by Naradji after having heard this Upanishad. Then, Kincha, not only that, Tadesha Shloko, now an authority is quoted. Na Pashyaha Mrityum Pashyati. So, the one who has thus come to discover this, he does not entertain the thought of death. Friends, please remember this principle. And I know you will not, but even then I am telling you. When we hear the news of anybody's death, if even a passing thought goes in our mind about our death, all what we have heard till date is washed away in the floods. Even a thought should not come. That, see, my grandfather, he used to love me so much, he died. Then my father died, my mother died. I think it is my number. This is Vedanta. मरने भी नहीं देते. Don't allow you to die unless you are Australian. You know the Australians? No. Once, for the first time, I came across Australian in India. One person came, so I asked him, "Where are you from?" He said, "From Australia." So, when did you come to die? I said, "No, I'm not asking the purpose. I asked him, when did you come to die?" मरो फिर. So, तदेश श्लोको न पश्यः मृत्युम पश्यति. There is no possibility of death at all. In Sanat Sujatiya, the story goes very beautiful way. Vidurji has told a lot many things to Dhritarashtra after the war. And that is called a Vidura Niti. Then this Dhritarashtra asked, "Is there something which I do not know?" He said, "I know one thing, I don't know whether you know or not. There is no death." "What? There is no death? So many people died, no death?" He said, "No, there is no death." "How come? Teach me that, tell me that." He said, "I can't tell you. I am not authorized to teach you." There one principle is brought out. You may be authorized to learn, but you cannot teach. You have to have a qualification by birth. By birth. Because Vidurji was the Dasi Putra. So he said, "I am not qualified, I will not teach." Then I can invoke my Guru and he will teach you. So he invokes Guru. Sanat Kumarji comes. And then he teaches him. And there it is very distinctly proved. Death is an impossibility. Very exhaustively, very nicely brought out. And there he said, we all suffer only because of the sin. And the sin is also defined there in a most unique way. There it is said, Anyatha santamatmanam anyatha pratipadyate kim tena na krutam papam chorena atma apaharina. We are essentially divine, but we take ourselves to be the body. Can there be a bigger theft than this? Somebody else's property, we claim ours. Body we have not created. Body doesn't listen to us, and yet I am the body. Can there be more sin? And because of this sin, we suffer. Therefore, suffering happens in the narak. What is narak? Bala means a child. Bal Mohan Vidyalay, child. Then Balaka means a child. Similarly, Nara and Naraka, living as body identification, is living in hell. This is the meaning. Therefore, death is no criteria when you are walking spiritual path. So, Tadesha Shloko na pasyo mrityum pashyati na rogam. Diseases happen to the body, and as long as we are identified with the body, then we think that I am having a disease. But when they give some kind of painkillers, where the disease goes, where the pain goes, it has no existence. Therefore, na rogam pashyati na ataha dukkhata. Dukkhatam sarvam hi pashyaha pashyati sarvam apnoti sarvasyaha iti. Therefore, this wise man, he comes to know that There is nothing like death or disease or miseries. Because sarvam apnoti sarvashah iti. He includes everything. So whenever something is included in I, we do not hate it. In our Ishasya Upanishad it is said, Yastu sarvani bhutani atma eva abhut vijanatah tatra ko mohakka shokaha ekatvam anupashyatah. How there can be delusion and greed when you come to know everything is me? Therefore, this great master, स एकदा भवति त्रिधा भवति पंचधा भवति सप्तधा नवधा पुनः एकादश स्मृत शतं च दश एकश्च सहस्राणि विंशति आहा इत्यादि. That means he alone keeps on expanding. You might be listening to Rudram Chamakam. No, there is one family like you. They are from Thane, I think. Very close. I stay with them when I go to USA. Oak. What is his name? Ajit Oak. He is such a genius. He is very much fond of chanting, and he goes to the temple and chants Rudri, Chamaki, and all kinds of things, Chamakam and all that. So in that Rudram, there is one prashna, one chant, one part. It is एकम च मे त्रयम च मे पंच च मे सप्त च मे नव च मे एकादश च मे त्रयोदश च मे पंचदश च मे सप्तदश च मे एकोनविंशति च मे. So may I get 1, may I get 3, may I get 5, may I get 7, may I get 9, may I get... What is this? The whole expansion is explained. These are various tattvas. According to some philosophy, there are 36 tattvas. According to some, there are 31. According to some, there are 24. So whatever way you explain it, everything is in me. This is what is the meaning. Therefore, such a thing, ekadasha, then smruta cha, shatam cha, dasha cha, eka sahasrani, all of them are included me. Now to come to this experience, what is required? Vinshati, ahara shuddhau, sattva shuddhi. This is the important topic for all of us to understand. Ahara shuddhau. If the food is pure, then only your mind will remain pure. There is one story actually happened. Somebody reported it. There was a Mahatma, like I am moving in from house to house, house to house. He was also moving in some place. And in one of the houses, they have given him a nice place to stay, sleep and all that. He stayed there for a few days. And not few days, I say 3 days he used to stay, 3 days or 4 days. So he stayed there, and when he was going, he left. Then those people in his room, they went, and they found the small timepiece as you have kept in my room. Some timepiece, it is not there. Where it has gone? They have checked the whole house. Where did we throw it, or it has gone where, like that, Then they could not find it. Next day, that Mahatma came back. And he said, have you lost anything? He said, how do you know? No, because I have stolen your that timepiece. I have come to give it you back to you. Then he asked, that day, the food you got for me from somebody brought food for me, who are those people? Then they discovered the person who got the food, it was not properly made. It was from the hotel. Somewhere he just packed it and brought it and gave it to him. So, ahara shuddhau, the purity of the food that we eat has a direct impact on the mind. Many of us take this thing very lightly. In another Upanishad, this thought comes. The student asked this question, Sir, We can understand the subtle controls the gross. But how can the gross control the subtle? Because you are telling you should have good, pure food. Otherwise, your mind will be influenced by the food. Now, food is gross, mind is subtle. How can it influence? He said, yes, you are a very nice, intelligent student. Please sit down and keep sitting. I'll come a little later. He kept him sitting. He went for breakfast, Guru Maharaj, and came back. Now, this fellow was waiting. He said, oh, I forgot. Anyway, I called you to know. Do you know Purusha Sukta? Yes, I know. Chant it properly. He chanted perfectly. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Very good. Maharaj, shall I go for lunch? No, no, no. You are not going to take food or drink water. Okay? Sit here. This person was frustrated. What I have done? Now, what he can't argue with the Guru. So, whole day gone, evening tea time, tea, coffee, everybody has taken, he is not allowed. Dinner, he is not allowed. Next day, breakfast is not allowed. Lunch is not allowed. Dinner is not allowed. Then he was completely morose. Then he asked, how are you? No strength to talk. I am all right. Okay, by the way, that day you chanted Purusha Sukta very well. It is still ringing in my ears. Please chant again. He could not. Could not. No, I just can't. I start and it gets forgotten. Never mind, it happens sometime. Go and take little bit of juice and little bit of food. Don't eat suddenly anything. And again, 2-3 days slowly, the food quantity increased. It became normal. Then again he is called. How are you here? Can you chant Purusha Sukta on one condition? No, when he chanted properly, he was kept away from the food. When he could not chant, he was given food. What is this? He said, this is answer to your question. You are telling how the gross can affect the subtle. This is how. Food is gross, but it is supporting the mind. Therefore, ahara shuddho sattva shuddhihi. That day also I told you, Sat is Paramatma, Sattva is Sattva Shuddhi. Mind is so pure that the truth is revealed through that mind. Sattva Shuddhi. Therefore, it is necessary that, like in your house, when I am taking food, I don't feel anywhere any discomfort. The food is so pure and without any, agitations or calm and cool way it is going on. It makes a difference. And those places where there is all light of, lot of fighting and bitterness and cheek and like that, that food has got a bad impact on the one who eats that. Therefore, it is said, ahara shuddho sattva shuddhihi. Then, sattva shuddho dhruva smriti. Sattva shuddha means when your sattva, your mind is shuddha, pavitra, then dhruva smriti, your memory will remain firm. It will not be lost. You will be able to remember every small little thing. So the same example which I gave you, he forgot because the mind was completely gone. Sattva shuddho dhruva smriti. Smriti lambhe sarva granthinam vipramokshaha. So, when the smriti, remembrance is perfect, then what will happen? Sarva granthi nam. What is the granthi? According to our Vedanta Shastra, granthi is avidya, kama, karma. These three things put together is the Hridaya granthi. So, wrong notion, avidya. As a result, agitations called as desire. And under the pressure of the desire, there is karma. So, avidya, kama, karma. So the karma is a grandchild of the avidya, the wrong notion. See? One troubleshooter told a friend, not a friend, just a person to trouble somebody. Hey Gupta ji, I heard your son in America met with a terrible accident. The moment this was said, Guptaji is upset. Comes home and still, see, this is what I got information. Our son met with an accident and these people don't listen. Caw, 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 caw. In old age, ladies are smart and composed, not the gents. Gents have no confidence as the age increases. So he became so disturbed. So she said, don't shout on anybody, phone him and find out. So he, yes, I can. He phoned. And that time it is night in the USA. So the son scolded the father. How many times I told you, don't call, this time it is night here. Oh, he is all right. Now see, avidya, wrong notion. Something happened to my son. Net result, agitations, desire. What happened to know? Action, call him. See, all the problems begin from the wrong notion. This word avidya, ignorance, is not able to give us correct import. Normally, you must have seen, most of the people they translate avidya means or ignorance means absence of knowledge. Knowledge can never be absent. I do not know Bengali. So, is it the ignorance that means absence of knowledge, or is it a knowledge that I don't know Bengali? Knowledge can never be absent. Therefore, avidya or ignorance means wrong notions. We are all leading notional life. And therefore, once we understand this, that we are disturbed or miserable as somebody is born after our identification with the body. And this body identification is not 24/7. It is only during the waking experience. Once we understand this principle, that we are becoming somebody after body identification. You know, in Panchadashi, this thought comes. It's a very beautiful thought. Be very attentive. Shuddha Atma, what is called a Mukhya Atma, primary self, absolute self. That primary self falls down, gets identified with the body, is called a Mithya Atma, illusory self. This illusory self becomes somebody to function in the world. He is called as the Vyavaharik Jiva. Now this Vyavaharik Jiva is, what is his attitude? In the dream, there is the Pratibhasik Jiva. There also there is somebody suffers, enjoys. But when the dream is over, then he is the Vyavaharik Jiva. What is his attitude toward what happened in the dream? Come on, yaar, it was just a dream, forget about it. If this example is clear, now we go one step further. We are Vyavaharik Jiva. And then also, when we step on the spiritual path, we have become a Paramarthik Jiva. We are searching, seeking something higher in life. Paramarthik Jiva. Now, as the Vyavaharik Jiva is not influenced or concerned about what happened to the dreamer, the Pratibhasik Jiva, in the same manner, the Paramarthik Jiva will not be influenced and disturbed to what happens to the Vyavaharik Jiva. Got it? So, I as a mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife is the Vyavaharik Jiva. But I as a seeker is Paramarthik Jiva. And therefore, whatever happens to all these relations and possessions, we take care. But we don't get carried away by that. Then we are really born, reborn. And this is what is the birth given by the Guru. And therefore it is said, the Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Mata, Guru Pita. The parents who have given us body is perishable. But when a disciple is initiated by the Guru, that seeker never dies, is eternal. Because now he is on the track, he will not die. And therefore, this sarva granthi nam vipramokshaha. So this wrong notion, avidya, is only creating all commotions. Therefore, we have to again and again remember, this is the crux of Bhagavad Gita. See? Nowhere in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Krishna has asked Arjun, did you get the knowledge? Nowhere Arjuna told, I got the knowledge. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita doesn't deal with knowledge. Nowhere Arjuna was asked by Bhagwan Krishna, did you get the devotion? Nowhere he said, I got devotion. See? Then what happened in Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna's question was answered and he replied in the same words. What was Arjuna's question? Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha pruchami tvam dharma sammudha cheta. See? I am confused. Confused about what? Identity. Who am I at this moment on the battlefield? Whether I am a grandson to Bhishmacharya or a disciple to Dronacharya or brother to the Kauravas, who am I? This is what his problem. So everything was explained by Bhagavan and ultimately what he told. Kachid eta shutam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasa kachid ajnana sammoha pranashtasya dhananjaya. Has your delusion gone or not? And Arjuna also says the same thing. Nashto moha smriti labdha tat prasadat maya chata. Scriptures don't create anything. They remind us smriti labdha tat prasadat, because of the prasad of the Shruti Mata. As to who am I at this moment? On the battlefield, I can be only a warrior and nothing else. In the same manner, the seeker of truth, he will be playing the different roles. Mother, father, brother, every role is played beautifully. But not all the time the same thing. See, we have to find out. Therefore, the Mahamantra tells us the same thing. Wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are, be 100%. If you are with your daughter, be the parents. If you are granddaughter, be grandparents. But all the time carrying that burden throughout life, he is not walking spiritual path. How simple it is, friends. And because, see, in the next chapter, I won't take it, but I am just telling you in short, those who are too much attached to their relations, they are again born in the same family. Distinctly brought out. About this, I'll tell you how the attachment leads to somewhere. This happened in Indore many years before. There was a child born to some family, and a child boy, and the grandmother was all the time holding on to the child. Oh, his mother doesn't understand anything. I will do everything she was doing. And the child was so much attached to grandmother that even to take milk, he will take the bottle and sit with the grandmother and she will drink. 1 day, 2 days, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. The child is not ready to leave the grandmother, sleeping with her. Then as he started growing, 5, 6 years, then he started dictating. Don't put on this sari, I don't like it. Don't talk to that man, it is not good. And I don't like, why did you give me? And this old lady got so frustrated. So they did some puja pothi, went to some Panditji, showed her horoscope and everything. What is this? Panditji did whatever he has to do and he told, he is your husband. And then that lady started finding out, oh God, yes, exactly the same way what he is to be. Because too much attached. Like that one Puneri child was born in Pune. And then Puneri child can do anything. When he came out of the womb of the mother, he was probably clean and all the wrapped, and he was in the hand of the nurse. And he asked, Puneri children can do that. He asked to the nurse, "What is there for breakfast?" And the nurse said, "Upit." Oh God, again Pune. This is how we come back to the same square one. That is why, Maharaj, that Sattva Shuddha Dhruva Smriti. We have to remember this. We are here to allow the divine express through us. And for that, we have to empty ourselves. Don't we empty our suitcase to fill in something different? Exactly the same way. We are carrying so much of garbage of possessions and relations and memories and projections and everything. And in that clutter, how can the divine express? I'll give the experience right now. Be available. Suppose, just example, suppose a thought comes in your mind. I think I should tell Swamiji, Swamiji, please find out something. You can't stay here tonight. A thought comes. And the thought is very powerful. And then another, no, how can I say, no? Where will he go? This is not the right way. I only invited him. No, I should not. I may feel I should throw him out, but I should not. So there are two of us. One is reacting, other is controlling the reaction. This controlling factor is expression of the divinity. See, I get anger. No, but I should not become angry. In other words, whenever you become aware of something, the strength of that thing disappears. If anger is coming, if you become aware of anger, anger will quieten down. You feel like talking something, but the moment you become aware, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, no, I will not. God. This is the truth. You don't have to do anything. There is a constant dialogue going on between I and between the truth. How subtle a point is this? Therefore, the more we remain quiet, Sattva Shuddha, the Dhruva Smritihi, we always remember, we are in this world only to be a fit instrument so that the divine can express through us. He created us only for that purpose. We have no purpose in our life. Then, Smriti Lambhe Sarva Granthinam Vipramokshaha. And when we remember, when Arjuna remembered, yes, I have come here for the war. Then, Sarva Granthinam Vipramokshaha. All the doubts, confusion, whether I should fight the war or not, everything gone. Sarva Granthinam Vipramokshaha. Now, what are the Granthis? Granthi is only identity crisis. Who am I at a given period of time? Therefore, our Maha Mantra, wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are, be 100%. That's it. Life becomes easy. But what happens? We are here and thinking about something and create accident. Because the one who created accident, he was not the driver. He was someone else. And therefore the car went here and there. This is how it happens. Tattva Shuddho, Dhruva Smriti, Smriti Lambe, Sarva Granthi Nam Vipramokshaha. Tasmai Mrudita Kashayaya Tamasaha Param Darshayati Bhagavan Sanat Kumaraha. To such a pure-hearted Naradji. See? Smriti Lambe, Sarva Granthi Nam Vipramokshaha. Tasmai Mrudita Kashaya Kaya. Kashayaya. Kashaya is impurity, the dirt. So what was the dirt in Naradji? Naradji's dirt was, I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that. Ahankar is not only about some particular thing. If you want to get a right example of ahankar, ego, the best example I can think is, ego is like the musca domestica, the house fly. It can sit anywhere. Bhagwan's prasad, it will go and sit there. If there's a filth, child has kept, it will go and sit there. No discrimination. See, we have the ego of our beauty also. We have ego of our ugliness also. We are not rich like you. It is not that only the rich people have got the ego. The poor have equal ego. The best example you want to see, the terrible ego in Maharashtra is Shiv Sena people. What they have got? Nothing. But they don't go out of that place. Therefore, if we are really walking spiritual path, we should be at peace with ourselves. We don't have to teach anything to anybody. Be at peace. So, this example of Shiva Sena I given just simple example. It should not be taken in letter and spirit. So, Mrudita Kashayaya Tamasaha Param Darshayati. So, he was indicated Tamasaha Param, beyond the limitations of ignorance, as to who you are. And therefore, all his shoka has disappeared. No shoka. Darshayati Bhagwan Sanat Kumaraha. Kumara Taskandam Ityachakte, Taskandam Ityachakshate. Now, this is the conclusion of this chapter, therefore, is repeated twice. So, the Sanat Kumaraji is also called as the Skanda, and therefore, this whole seventh chapter is concluded by this. Naradji came with all knowledge in the world, yet he was not at peace with himself. He has gone through the whole seventh chapter, and thereafter he has recognized his error. He was finding himself caught up in the finites. He has never sought the infinite. And therefore, all the spiritual practices seek something infinite. And what is infinite? This we have to decide. So, where do we find infinity in this world? So, what is the world? World is name and form. Forms are finite. Formless is infinite. Words are finite. Silence is infinite. So, work on this. Listen to silence. Don't create words. Don't talk. You will see the weight of your body is increasing on the base. The weight of your own arms is felt very distinctly in your lap. The breathing has become extremely slow and shallow. And the shape, size of the body has disappeared from the mind. Therefore, our experience is trans body experience. Like the space. The mind dissolved in consciousness. There is life, but there is nobody. Narada, with the burden of knowledge, suffered. The only way was unburden. We suffer because of the burden of grahastha or sannyasi. The truth is neither grahastha nor sannyasi. This nirvishesha satta, the ordinary being, is what was revealed to Naradji by the grace of Sanat Kumarji. This experience is ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना. Take deep breath slowly. On spiritual path, there is neither a success nor a failure, because you don't get anything, so no success. You don't lose anything, because of that no failure. ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना. Offer everything at the feet of the Lord. Today being the Shravan Mass, we offer everything at the feet of Lord Shiva and conclude this session. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.